Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 19th August 2025. In this report, I'm going to generate only daily and above time frame reports because there is an issue with the intraday related data. Once it is resolved, I will upload those reports. Otherwise, today's reports will be limited to daily and above time frame. And please also note, we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action, and all the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. To access all the training lessons, click on the tab post. If you see community tab, click on the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that is having all the training lessons. You just click on this link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available. You need to start our training from lesson 1.1 that is available at the bottom of the page. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions provided at our Telegram channel. You can find all the training instructions at our Telegram channel, and I provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Go to the video description, join at our channel, and if you look into the old or previous or old messages or in the pinned messages, you can find all the training instructions. If you can learn the course according to those training instructions, this course will be helpful to you and you will become a very good independent trader in the coming days. Please make use of this opportunity. Okay, now I am going to generate. First, I am going to generate daily stocks near daily demand and supply zones so that we can identify daily high liquidity demand and supply zones. So, starting with the daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone, we got 7 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. BDL is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Next, Lupin is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. So total we got 2 stocks from the daily time frame. Next, for daily time frame, stocks near to the daily supply zone, we got 14 stocks. Let us identify daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Nifty mid cap select listed in F&O, it is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Cholamandalam Finance is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Next, Suzlon is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. So total 3 daily high liquidity supply zones identified from this list. Okay, next I will generate Nifty and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain starting from monthly until the daily time frame. Because intraday data is not available, you won't get other time frames data in this video. So Nifty starting with monthly time frame, generating Nifty monthly supply demand zone chain report. Okay, this is Nifty monthly supply demand zone chain report. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones, and look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. You already learned one time frame higher is ITF and one more time frame higher is HTF. You are aware of those concepts. And remember these points for all the supply demand zone chain reports. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the report. Once you pause, study the report, and then you can proceed to the next reports. Okay, next. Generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Okay, next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Okay, this is Nifty supply demand zone chain report until daily time frame. Next, I will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain report, changing the name to Nifty Bank. That is nothing but Bank Nifty. And from monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Okay, this is Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain report, daily and above time frames. Okay, next I will generate only bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly income trade. Weekly, daily and hourly income trade report generation is not possible until we get the intraday data. So I am going to generate sideways monthly and sideways bullish and bearish monthly income trade reports for bullish and bearish trade setups. Okay, for monthly income trade, entry time frame daily, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup, at entry time frame daily, I am selecting first sideways long trade setup. And zone achievement should always be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and enhanced score should be 11 for sideways, 12 for bullish or bearish. Okay, this is sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade. I am generating the report and we got 5 stocks. And entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. So this is a pierced zone. You can't use a sideways trade setup, but if you would like to apply pierced zone strategies that you learned in lesson 28, you can apply on this zone. So total 5 stocks we got. In that, one is a pierced zone. So we got 4 sideways long trade setup daily demand zones. Okay, next sideways short trade setup. The changes are daily supply zone and here sideways short. Let's filter. So we got 2 stocks for sideways short trade setup for monthly income trade, and entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Okay, next I will generate a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame and entry zones are daily demand zone, and one more change here, bullish, and a third change, minimum odd and enhanced score should be 12 for bullish or bearish trade setups. So let's filter. Total we got 22 stocks supporting a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, and entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. So first 17 stocks in the list. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. Total 22 stocks are filtered. Out of these 22, in all these 22, entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. Out of these 22 daily demand zones, there could be some high probability trade setup daily demand zones might be available. Maybe some of them could be high liquidity zones, but we are going to find the possible high probability trade setup zones based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. So first strategy is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, and then ITF EMA confluence. Okay, on these 22 stocks I am going to apply demand zone confluence filter. So here in the demand zone confluence filter, I am enabling LTF and ITF demand zone. LTF is daily, ITF is weekly. So daily and weekly demand zone confluence filter is enabled, and this filter is applied on those 22 stocks. After applying the filter, we got 16 stocks. In all these 16 stocks, these daily demand zones, all these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. That is what demand zone confluence, daily and weekly. That means all the daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zone. That way, the institutional order flow in daily demand zone could be a little stronger because it is part of the weekly demand zone. But is that enough? No. And that weekly demand zone should have weekly EMA confluence. Why? Because weekly trend is uptrend in all the stocks. ITF trend is always uptrend. And daily zone is inside the weekly zone. That's why we are checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. If that is the case, the overlapped daily demand zone inside weekly might be having even more stronger institutional order flows. So that means probability of getting success could be higher. So let's apply that filter, EMA filter, on weekly demand zones. So weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence filter is enabled because weekly trend is uptrend in all the stocks. Now the list is come down to 10 stocks. These 10 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, zones will be violated. There are higher chances zones might be violated. Without less than 20 checklist items, verification, you can't take trades directly on these daily demand zones. They have high probability, but that confirmation is only after less than 20 checklist items. So, if once less than 20 checklist items are satisfied, then those zones might be having better high probability to get success compared to the other zones. Of course, sometimes zones might be violated, but it is a rare scenarios after verification of less than 20 checklist items. Otherwise, these 10 stocks might be having more high probability to get success if less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. This is based on the strategy daily and weekly demand zone confluence and weekly EMA confluence. Okay, next let us look into daily, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence and then monthly EMA confluence. That is LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence and HTF EMA confluence. So let us generate those reports. I am going back, removing ITF EMA filter. Now we should focus on HTF. First let us filter based on the demand zone confluence with all the 3 filters. So now we should apply 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Next, daily and monthly demand zone confluence is enabled, and a weekly and monthly demand zone confluence filter is also enabled. With all the 3 filters, daily, weekly, monthly demand zone confluence, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. And then both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is up in the first 4 stocks. 5th one is sideways, ignore the 5th one. And remaining 4, if monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA, then the overlapped daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. And 3rd one is a pierced zone. You can't use it for bullish trade setup, but you can use this zone for applying your pierced zone strategies that you learned in lesson 28. Okay, so now let us apply monthly EMA confluence on the first 4 stocks and eliminate the 5th one. So in the EMA confluence at monthly time frame, I am checking monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence or not. At the same time, trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. We got 1 stock. That way, this particular month daily demand zone might be having more high probability to get success. See, already tested 8 times. Okay, now is it going to give one more test? That is all depending on less than 20 checklist items. If less than 20 checklist items are satisfied, you can plan another trade. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. So this is about a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entries on supply zone, and also bullish or bearish at daily time frame. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. Let's filter. Now we got only one stock that is supporting, sorry, some mistake I made here. Selected bullish. Let me correct. Bearish, because this is a daily supply zone. So we got 3 stocks. If any mistakes, we can verify here. Entry time frame daily, entry zone supply zone, zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhance 12, greater than or equals to 12. Bullish or bearish sideways trade setup at daily, we have selected bearish. Perfect. Now we got 3 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Out of these 3 daily supply zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies you learned in lesson 27. So first strategy is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is the daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Let us apply that filter on these 3 stocks. So in the supply zone confluence filter, I am enabling daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence filter, and this filter is applied on the 3 stocks, and out of 3, 1 is filtered. So this daily supply zone overlapped with weekly supply zone, and weekly trend is a downtrend. Let us further filter with EMA confluence and weekly supply zone. Weekly supply zone with weekly EMA stock is not filtered, so that is not high probability trade setup. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one, daily and weekly, already enabled. Daily and monthly supply zone confluence, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence with all the 3 filters. Daily, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. We got only one stock again. This daily supply zone overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways. Sideways trend EMA confluence does not give any advantage. That way we did not find any high probability trade setup supported zones based on the concepts you learned in lesson 27. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And we have completed income trade generation because weekly, daily and hourly we need intraday data. Once that is available, I will prepare another report. And next, let us generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones, starting from yearly until the weekly time frame, because daily already generated in the beginning of the report. Stocks near demand and supply zones for HLQ zone strategy we already generated. So starting with yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly demand zone, we got 2 stocks. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone, no stocks. Next time frame, half yearly, stocks near to the, stocks price closed inside the, you may ask why I am not generating stocks near, because those zones are not available. So I am just saving your time. Inside, price closed inside half yearly demand zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, price closed inside half yearly supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near to the quarterly demand zone, we got 2 stocks. Next, stocks near to the quarterly supply zone, no stocks. Price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got 20 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. quarterly demand zone with quarterly EMA. At the same time, trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So now we got 12 stocks. In all these 12 stocks, price closed inside the quarterly demand zones, and all these quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA Confluence. You can always look into the search strategy and time frame here. Okay, next, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 14 stocks. We can further filter based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near to the monthly demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Next, stocks near to the monthly supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 18 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 30 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. Now we got 15 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 29 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. We got 4 stocks. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone. We got 15 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 41 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. So list is reduced, but multiple stocks we got. First 16 stocks in the list. Nifty Bank is having a EMA Confluence and weekly demand zone. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. So total 23 stocks are filtered. Next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 46 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the weekly time frame should not be sideways. Now list is reduced. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total we got 17 stocks. So daily time frame we already generated in the beginning of the report. And in the final report I am generating the stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. You can study. After that you can proceed further. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you. Let us all meet again in our next part of the video. Thank you.